What happened when I shared my greatest shame? And today I want to talk to you about this week I attended a dinner in London. It was 20 other beautiful people who I'd never met before and Andrea McLean. She had created this evening all about shame, the word shame, which most people will literally hide from. They will find a corner and they will go away because nobody really likes to bring that word up because shame is the reason we hide. We fear, we hold ourselves back, we pretend not to be the big version that we can be, and we don't ever want to see ourselves in any other way sometimes because that shame has consumed our entire identity. It consumes what we do and what we believe about ourselves. I had only met Andrea McLean a few weeks ago at a previous event at my networking group that I go to, the Global Women. And she was talking all about her book, which is this one, Shameless. It's an amazing account. And it helps other women realise that actually what we're ashamed of is easier to let go than you ever imagined when you're with the right people. So I arrived. I didn't actually have massive expectations of it because I didn't know what the evening was to entail. And so once we got into the conversations, we were all asked to stand up and speak about something that we're ashamed of, that's held us back, or that we're aware that we need to work with. Now, I didn't go into this conversation thinking I was just about to reveal something I had never revealed about myself before. It wasn't something I initially thought would even come up. I buried this one quite deep and I knew it was there, but I didn't have it at the forefront consciously. So when I stood up, I started explaining my life's journey, that 5 years ago I turned my life upside down. But without much thought, what came out was suddenly this huge thing that I'd been holding since I was 17 years old. And without, any control, it flew out. But there was something remarkable that happened. And that was I was in the presence of safety. Because what I hadn't seen before was, again, I was in a room of people, of souls that were supportive, that were holding, that were caring, and actually they were willing to listen without judgment, without any rejection, without being made to feel I was different. And whatever I said, just blurted out. And it even took me by shock because it wasn't part of the story. You know what it's like? You're waiting for everybody else to stand up and do their 5-minute speech. So your mind starts racing, going, what shall I say? What's the best thing? How do I come across right? And in the end, I was thinking, oh, Joe, just cut this out and just listen. And whatever comes out will come out. And I don't really want to make a fool of myself, but if that's what happens, I'm not going to be here. We're in a room talking about shameless and not to be ashamed when you make a mistake. But once my speech had ended, the applause was quite loud. As in, I think it hit a lot of raw nerves. But the remarkable thing is, everybody held a story of remarkable shame that they had also been holding. And it was the most empowering evening I could honestly say I've ever sat with such souls that could be like this. And what a refreshing way to be. Instead of walking around day in, day out, putting the mask on, trying your best to hide who you are, pretend to fit in, act as if what you believe everybody else wants you to be, and wonder why your life feels so unfulfilled and you hold resentment and you hold judgment and you criticize yourself and others, all because deep down, you're too ashamed to sharpen your authentic self. And that's what I can relate to my life, because all my life that was exactly who I was. But it doesn't have to be that for you. And shame is one of those words that triggers a lot of people. And shame isn't something we're born with. We weren't born feeling ashamed. We were born feeling confident, outgoing. We weren't given shame when we were born, but we had it put on us. And it wasn't necessarily done on purpose, but we've had it put on us throughout our life, and we've carried it, believing it was ours to carry. And it's almost like having that weighted rucksack on full of heavy rocks. Until we learn to take those rocks out, see them for what they are, and let them be witnessed, we can put that weight away. We can put it down, and we don't ever have to carry it again. And that's the lightness that you start to feel